Good evening, I'm Keisha Butts with a CTV News update. Tomorrow marks 2 weeks since the FEMA mass vaccination site opened at the Greenbelt Metro Station. And so far, 40,000 people have received their first dose of the Pfizer vaccine. Officials at the Greenbelt facility say they have enough vaccine on hand to accept walk-ups. Anyone 16 years and older is eligible. If you do decide to walk up, you're asked to speak with a staff member who will register you on the spot and start the process.
Our no appointment individuals that are looking to register, we're looking to have them for a recommended walk-up if they want to come a little bit after starting time and preferably 2 hours before close. That's the preferred time for a no appointment walk-up.
Here are the recommended hours for walk-ups: Monday and Tuesday 9 to 1 p.m., Wednesday and Thursday 2 to 6, and Friday through Sunday 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. As the COVID-19 vaccine rollout continues, officials urge residents to not let their guard down. This as the state releases the latest COVID-19 numbers. Here in Maryland, healthcare professionals identified 925 new coronavirus cases in the last 24 hours. The positivity rate is at 5.4%. 19 Marylanders have died of COVID-19 related issues since yesterday. Here in hardest hit Prince George's, more than 281,000 Prince Georgians have received their first dose of the vaccine. While an ongoing controversy in Capitol Heights could now go to the town's voters for resolution. In January, the town's council suspended Mayor Sean Malden over alleged wrongdoings. The council extended the suspension until May 7th and is now trying to abolish the mayoral office completely until next election in 2022. But Malden says the body is not following proper charter protocol, so he went out and garnered enough signatures to put the issue on the town's ballot.
If we don't think you are fit, so we'll just abolish the office and then we'll follow the line of succession. The next person in line will be the acting mayor. The problem with why they don't want to do it that way, I think, is because they want to be able to appoint someone in. And to me, it screams, we want to put a puppet in office so that they will do what we want them to do. The other issue with that sort of charter amendment resolution is it's done by 4 out of 6 council members. So not only do not all of the council members agree with that, it also takes the voice away from the people. I think the people who elected the mayor in 2018 for a set term deserve to see that mayor serve out the entire term in office. And then if they would like to get that mayor out of office, they know that they can do that at the next election. They do it at the polls. That is a democratic democracy sort of system that we live in. Anything less than that is a dictatorship.
The council could elect to hold a special mayoral election to replace Malden or wait until the decision is made by voters in 2022. Either way, Malden says he is seeking legal counsel and that the issue could end up in court. There have been more than 100 mass shootings in the U.S. this year, according to the Gun Violence Archive. With the recent uptick in tragedies, one national organization is saying enough is enough. Moms Demand Action is calling on the U.S. Senate to pass a gun background check law. Dawn Soltzfus says it would save lives.
90% of Americans, and that includes the vast majority of Republicans and gun owners, also do support background checks. You know, they're simple. They don't infringe on anyone's rights. They're just about ensuring that people who shouldn't have access to guns don't have access to guns. And it also sometimes gives a short waiting period, which can be especially helpful in the cases of someone who maybe is contemplating suicide.
Moms Demand Action was founded the day after the Sandy Hook tragedy. You're watching CTV News. I'm Keisha Butts. We'll be back in a moment.
I am what child hunger looks like in America. I am a 9-year-old boy who hopes a friend invites me to a sleepover so I can have dinner. I am a 15-year-old girl who goes for walks during lunch so my friends won't know I don't have anything to eat. I am a 13-year-old boy who gets into fights at school just because I'm hungry. I I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 7 American children who struggle with hunger. Kids you pass by every day, but never knew they were hungry.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, I want him. He's got to come home with me. Not anything but lonely. Every day with Turtle is a perfect day and keeps me company when I'm doing schoolwork. I like it when he jumps up on the table too. He is a veggie thief. He's an incredible companion and my best friend. Can't say that I've met anybody that doesn't love him too. When I adopted Turtle, I discovered all the things that make him unique. He's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly he's all pure love.
Welcome back. The county receives a grant to address a backlog in testing of sexual assault kits. State's Attorney Aisha Brayboy and the Maryland Coalition Against Sexual Assault announced the grant during a virtual press conference this morning. The funding will be used to provide resources, personnel, and equipment that is needed in testing the kits. Currently, the county has more than 2,000 untested rape kits dating back to the early 1990s. The state has about 5,800 untested rape kits.
Once you've gone through the trauma, and it's been a while, sometimes you may or may not believe that your case is still on someone's radar. So we want to let them know that it's still on our radar, whether they're asking us about it or not. Because justice is something that we absolutely must continue, whether we're asked to obtain it or not, something that we always have to pursue. And so we certainly will reach out to our victims, as Laura mentioned, because we certainly want to move forward with their support.
Officials say survivors can pursue justice against their attacker because Maryland does not have a statutory limit for felony cases. The former U.S. Secretary of Education under the Obama administration announces his candidacy for governor of Maryland. Dr. John King Jr. will join a list of notable Democrats eyeing the governor's mansion. King is currently the president and CEO of the Education Trust, a national nonprofit organization that looks to close student opportunity and achievement gaps.
My job as governor will be to make sure that we set a tone as a state, that we realize that we have a common destiny, and that means we've got to work hard to address systemic inequality.
King began his career as a teacher. In other news, a Prince George's County judge has denied a Bladensburg police officer's motion to dismiss his case in connection with an excessive force complaint. The officer, Michael Luciati, was indicted earlier this year after women said he used excessive force during a traffic stop in February 2020. The woman suffered facial and head injuries while handcuffed in custody. The Bladensburg police chief said the case was deeply concerning to him. After he saw the body-worn camera footage, Luciati faces second-degree assault and misconduct in office charges. Archaeologists discover the home site of Harriet Tubman's father. The home of Ben Ross, Tubman's father, was discovered in Dorchester County. An archaeology team found artifacts from the 1800s like nails, bricks, glass, and more. According to officials, the property is about 10 acres and was given to Ross by Anthony Thompson. Ross, who ultimately became a free man, was granted the land 5 years after Thompson's death in 1836.
The importance of the discovery of Ben Ross's cabin here is that we know that Harriet Tubman knew this location, knew this place. In fact, this was looked at as her training ground. She would have been here as a child, but also she would have come back and been living with her father during her teenage years when she would have been working alongside of him. And this was really the opportunity she had to learn about the wetlands and the woods and how to survive and navigate.
The property is now owned by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. And we'll have more news in a moment. Stay tuned.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Welcome back. April is National Financial Education Month, and knowing how to manage personal funds is especially important during a pandemic. The nonprofit group Cash Campaign of Maryland is holding a series of free virtual events and classes throughout the month. Topics include Relief Act benefits and what to do with your stimulus checks.
So this Saturday, we have the Money Explosion event, which is hosted by the Prince George's Cash Campaign, and that is going to have multiple different workshops, some for youth, some for entrepreneurs, small business owners, and for the general public. So that's going to be a really big event that has a lot of different topics of interest that people would be needing to know, different topics on handling their finances. Then we have some other ones coming up next week as well. We have understanding your business idea with leadership. We have different topics on credit. And we have a really exciting one on Earn It, Plan It, Keep It coming up on the 27th. So for this month, we've had over 60 different webinars. And for the remaining of this month, we still have 25 left.
To register for a free financial education course, log on to mdcashacademy.org. The University of Maryland aims to help businesses that have been displaced with a new national network. It's called Small Business Anti-Displacement. It was founded earlier this month after JP Morgan Chase donated $3 million to UMD's National Center for Smart Growth. The group will create tools and policies aimed at helping businesses in gentrifying neighborhoods.
Keeping small businesses in the neighborhoods helps to build wealth. It helps to build stability. It helps to build better local economies. We already know from fighting Walmarts in our backyards the importance of small local businesses towards neighborhood identity, characters, and economy.
The network will initially focus on areas in DC, Chicago, and New York City. As reported last week, MedStar Southern Hospital has expanded its facility by 1,800 square feet. There's now 50% more treatment space and several new services. There are 27 new rooms to treat patients with COVID-19 and a biocontainment unit for Ebola patients.
This is part of our designation as a Ebola assessment hospital, giving us the capability to not only receive patients who present with special pathogens, that is highly infectious diseases that can often result in spread if not managed appropriately. It allows us to not only receive those individuals, but actually stabilize them and provide care for a limited time period.
MedStar Southern Hospital is located in Clinton. Let's get a quick check on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 53 degrees. Wednesday, scattered showers and possible thunderstorms throughout the day with a high near 68 and a low around 35. Thursday, mostly sunny and breezy with a high near 55 and a low around 39. Friday, sunny with a high near 65 and a low around 44 degrees. And now for the community calendar, calling all teens, Goal Grinders Incorporated is inviting young scholars to participate in a one-day Leaders in Training event. Participants will learn about public speaking, becoming a young leader, and more. Hear from other teens, play games, and win cash prizes. The event is this Saturday, April 24th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. For registration and more information, visit goalgrinders.org. And that wraps up our CTV News Update. Join us again tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. I'm Keisha Butts. Have a good night.